Welcome to Khaliis Take. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you can get the newest content first. But let's just go ahead and jump right in. I was reading clipperholics.com, and the one thing that I noticed they were speaking about in the article was about the Clippers, of course, and what point guard could make them or help them get to the finals, which is the destination they're trying to get to. And, I was kind of shocked, what point guard they insisted upon. And, the trade deadline and everything, coming up and everything. And they're basically insisting upon the Clippers go after, this point guard who could help make them a lot better in regards to their offense and, make their flow a lot better. Because right now their offense looks a little stagnant at times. It looks a little out of sorts. And then it's really like a question up in the air about what they're thinking or what they plan to do with John Wall in regards to his minutes and whether he's really going to start or he's just going to continue to come off the bench, or whatever the case may be, or just fit them in wherever they feel like they need to at certain times, plug them in here, plug them in there, kind of like the way they've been doing. And, we know that John Wall hasn't been happy with that because he's expressed that he hasn't been happy with those type results, and nor should he, because, he feel like he has fresh legs and he has a lot to give in everything to this organization and what they can do. And, in regards to that, the point guard that they're talking about, that can help the Clippers would be D'Angelo Russell. Now, don't get me wrong. As you look at this clip here, showing you what the site says and everything, D'Angelo Russell is a good point guard. He really is. He's a more than solid point guard. He can give you, 15 to 20 points a game if he's, motivated, if he's in the right situation. He can give you about 8 assists, a game. But at the same time, that's what John Wall can give you. If you're playing John Wall the right way, if you're getting the best out of John Wall, and if John Wall is happy with what his role is and what he's doing. You see what I'm saying? And the way this site is really kind of putting this out there as if the Clippers need to make a trade for a point guard. And, honestly, I'm not sure if that's really what the Clippers need. I mean, I just haven't seen enough from John Wall to say whether he's good or bad or he doesn't fit with the Clippers at all. I mean, from what I've seen so far, it doesn't look becoming. It doesn't look like, it's a supreme fit right now. But, Ty Lue in these lineups really, really irritate me. So, and I'm pretty sure it irritates John Wall too. So I got to kind of give John Wall a little bit of credit. The way Ty Lue is orchestrating things is just not championship worthy. You see what I'm saying? And it's just not consistent enough with the main guys. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like the way Ty Lue is coaching is he's just running his main players into the ground, giving them all these minutes and all this other stuff and not really resting them. I mean, the fact that you have all this depth on this team, Kawhi and PG shouldn't have to average no more than about 23 points a game apiece, because if that really, because this team has so much depth that everybody talked about, including myself, in the offseason. They don't really need to average 30 points a game between the both of them for you to win games. They just don't need that. Like Paul George scoring 30, 40 points. It was about 3-4 weeks ago. He scored like 40 points against the Kings, and they still lost, I believe. But this is what I'm saying. You shouldn't really need a Herculean effort from Paul George against the Kings. Even though the Kings are a better team this year, you have so much depth on your team. You're supposed to be able to interchange players in and out to get the best production out of them while they're on the floor, and let Paul George rest if, Kawhi is not playing, or if Kawhi is playing and Paul George is out, give, Kawhi the rest, because you got so much depth all the way around. You shouldn't need your main players to have a 40, 50 point game to win, not with all the pieces that you have. Because if most coaches had all these pieces on a team, I can probably almost guarantee you they both, Kawhi and Paul George, wouldn't have to average no more than about 23 points a game the whole season. And there'd be a lot of games where you would see them sit out, fourth quarter, not even play, because you got so much depth all around the room. You should be fine in regards to, getting production from everybody and, having your two main players really rest and, keep them fresh for when it comes playoff time. It should be it's not an easy process. I'm not going to say that, but it should be a lot easier than what Ty Lue is making it. I feel like Ty Lue is making his job a lot more difficult than really what it needs to be, because as I said, with all that depth, you shouldn't be losing some of the games that you're losing. And on top of that, with Kawhi looking like he's really starting to hit his stride, coming to his rhythm a little bit, I mean, you shouldn't have lost the last couple games that you lost. You had a 20-point lead against Philly, you know what I'm saying? And then, against the Celtics, you had that game, to me, when you made the comeback and everything, but you let that one slip away as well, even though it was in Boston. But that's the same Boston team that gave up 150 points to the Thunder. So it's like, it just goes to show that there needs to be more consistency in the rotations and the lineups, and really Ty Lue just needs a better game plan. And I just don't know if adding another point guard, even if it's somebody like a D'Angelo Russell, I don't know if that's really the end all be all for them, because as I said, I really haven't seen enough from John Wall to really say whether he would be a good fit with the Clippers or not, because he's frustrated he was frustrated a couple weeks ago in the reports I made about his minutes with the Clippers and not getting his rhythm the way he would like to. And that when a player is frustrated, a lot of times they don't play as well. You see what I'm saying? So now, me personally, I've never been the biggest John Wall fan. You guys heard me say that way before John Wall even ever came to the Clippers, if you look at some of my older videos. But so far, like I said, it's really hard to judge him, because I just don't understand Ty Lue's game plan with everybody on the roster, not just him, but everybody, even the superstars, Kawhi and PG. I just don't see what the plan is for them, because it's like, just let them go out there, put up big points, let them play a lot of minutes. I mean, I didn't even know Kawhi was off of minutes restriction until maybe about a week ago or so. I looked at his minutes, and I saw that he played over like 28 minutes or something like that, which he was on at first. But it's just, I don't know. I feel like, Ty Lue has to have a lot better game plan if this team plans on, taking the distance and going all the way to the finals. But, you can definitely let me know what you think about the situation. But like I said, I'm really on the fence about getting another point guard, because even if they did get D'Angelo Russell, and let's say they found out hypothetically that John Wall isn't the guy, but regardless if you find that out or not, if D'Angelo Russell comes there and his minutes are cut back and he's not able to really perform at the level that they would need him to, because Ty Lue is making a mistake in that area, it would be the same thing with John Wall like you have now. It wouldn't be no difference. So it's like, I mean, it doesn't really matter too much about the point guard. The fact is, you got a point guard, you got a guy who could distribute the ball, you got a guy who could distribute the ball at a high level without a high turnover rate, or at least one time he could. I don't know too much about now. It's the few games I actually looked at, he did have some crucial turnovers at the end of a couple of games where I thought that, it could have helped the Clippers, end that game a lot better, or maybe possibly even win the game. So I don't know. And then, like I said, who knows what the Clippers are thinking right now. But honestly, the PG thing, hopefully Kawhi stays healthy and get his rhythm back. I personally think they can do great with Kawhi without PG for a little while. I just think that, PG is going to have to definitely be ready to go. Of course, playoff time, can't have no lagging there. And like I said, with PG, it's just kind of like, who knows, man. I remember last year, I think in the playing tournament, he ended up with COVID, like right before the game, like hours before the game. And that's not his fault or anything like that. But it's like, damn, what I'm saying? Something always seems to go wrong with PG, at the worst time. And it's been like that in his career, for a long time, seemed like to me. Kawhi has had injuries too, but Kawhi has managed to pull in 2 championships. So he's been healthy at some point. He's been healthy in the playoffs when needed, and he's delivered. So, I mean, you can't really question him too much, but, you can question him, but it really doesn't make too much sense, because like I said, he's been healthy enough in the playoffs when he needed to be healthy, and his team won the championship. As far as Paul George, he always seems to get injured at that wrong time to me, and like the Clippers are trying to get this chemistry thing going, and Ty Lue with these lineups and everything, and, he gets injured right now. Hopefully, he'll he'll come back very soon, but at the same time, regardless, he needs to take his time with that injury, though, because you don't want it to linger and where it prevents him from playing in the big games in the playoffs, going forward. So I'm not really sure. But as far as the point guard thing, I just don't know. I just don't see, no need to go after another point guard. If you don't have the minutes to give players, it doesn't matter who's on the roster. You got all the pieces in the world, if you ask me right now. It's just they don't have enough basketballs to go around to, support everybody and let everybody, get a piece of the pie. And that's the problem with the Clippers right now. If you ask me, it's a good problem to have, but it's also a problem. And it's a problem that Ty Lue has to figure out. But as I said before, leave any comments and let me know what you think and about it. And hey, till next time.